How about them Cowboys? Angry Cowboys fan. Born to battle. Some just means we never sell. America's team through thick and thin. When the sun shines bright, that's when we win. Angry Cowboys fan.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation and Angry Cowboys fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. And we just got done with another press conference from Dallas Cowboys head coach Brian Schottenheimer, where he touched base on a few topics that are pretty important to this Dallas Cowboys team moving into the end of the preseason, into the regular season. During this presser, the media asked Schotty about Joe Milton's performance against the Arizona Cardinals, as well as Jayshawn Barham and the Dallas Cowboys special teams unit, and that's where I want to focus this video on. So we're going to take a listen to the 3 clips that I got for y'all, because y'all know what we're going to do after that. We're going to come back and unpack this raw and uncut. So, Angry Cowboys fans, let's take a listen to the clip from Brian Schottenheimer's press conference on August 24th.
John Machado with The Athletic. When you went back and watched the film, what impressed you most about Joe Milton?
Probably the touch that he was throwing the ball with. I think I'm going to talk about both games because, just the poise and, when you're playing quarterback and you have a play caller that's the head coach, there's a rhythm that you want to try to get into. And last year at times, this time of year with Joe, it was a little bit difficult to call plays for Joe because I wasn't sure exactly, what's going to happen here and there. And, just the poise that he's playing with right now. But you asked about one thing that jumped out. I think the touch on the double move to Mingo was a beautiful, beautiful throw. The touch on the scramble play to Camden Brown was a beautiful deal. Honestly, last year, this time, on the touchdown to Malik, it's probably from me to you, and he probably would have blistered it at Malik, and probably would have put a dent in Malik's chest because he's capable of doing that. But, he just kind of softened his elbow and just kind of flicked it and made it really easy for Malik. So, really, 2 really, really good performances. And I think, quite honestly, if you would just take the training camp competition, it's probably neck and neck, and Sam maybe a little bit ahead. That's why we actually started Sam in the first game, against Seattle. But Joe's put together 2 really good performances, and this will be another fun week for them to keep battling.
Sam's neck and neck? I don't know about that, Cowboys Nation, but honestly, I feel that's what impressed me and everyone in Cowboys Nation during the game against the Arizona Cardinals. What really stood out to me in that game was Joe Milton being poised in the pocket, him staying in the pocket until the last possible moment, not fleeing the pocket out of first sight of danger, as well as the escapability from the pocket, having his eyes downfield to make a play and not just run with his legs. Right off top, those are the things that impressed me with Joe Milton so far. But let's go ahead and jump into the second clip so we can come back and talk about it. Let's go ahead and roll that clip.
And you touched on Jaden, but the running back room as a whole, what did you make from those guys?
Just they're making it hard on us. They just all keep doing a good job with the tasks that they're given, the roles that they're given, and it seems like everyone that goes in there just does their job. I will speak to this. I thought Malik Davis was incredible from a pass protection standpoint. Very first play of the game, they fire the free safety in the backside B gap, and he steps up and just strikes him. And then there was a nickel blitz off the edge, and he's playing with a lot of confidence.
Cowboys Nation, as I was watching the rushing film today, I was saying the same thing that Brian Schottenheimer was saying. I was talking about how the running backs that are currently at the camp are going to be making the decision extremely hard for the Dallas Cowboys. Who do you keep on the 53-man roster, Cowboys Nation? We'll talk about that more during the Raw and Uncut portion, so make sure you stick around for that. Now let's go ahead and jump into this last clip so we can come back and unpack this Raw and Uncut.
Brad Sham, Cowboys Radio 105.3 The Fan. One more thing about special teams. When you say your objective is to win special teams, there are so many different facets of special teams. What does winning special teams mean to you?
Field position battle. What's the average drive start? What's the average drive start after a kickoff? We plan on making all of our kicks, with Aubrey, but it's really, the game is so much about field position, and offenses are really good in this league and defenses are really good in this league. So if you're an offensive guy and you have shorter fields, you have a much better chance of scoring. And if you can pin them back, so your chance of the defense doing well. So it starts with that. Anytime you can have an explosive play and, we do have fakes and things like that we feel like can help swing momentum, but it starts with field position.
Cowboys Nation, I am extremely happy that somebody brought up special teams, because I'd be damned if special teams is going to be the reason why the Dallas Cowboys lose games this season. The team struggled with special teams last year, and it needs to be cleaned up from a coaching standpoint before the team heads into the regular season. But you know what? Y'all ready for this raw and uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. Get ready for the Angry Cowboys fans, raw and uncut.
Keeping it real. They keep it real. That's real.
All right, Cowboys Nation. Another informative press conference from Brian Schottenheimer. The questions that were asked hit a number of different questions that I have when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys moving forward. I also wanted to hear Brian Schottenheimer's reaction to Joe Milton's performance against the Arizona Cardinals, because even though you have these thirsty-ass fans out there trying to thrust Joe Milton into the starting unprepared role for the Dallas Cowboys QB1, at least our coaching staff has some sense to not even consider such a stupid-ass move. But we spoke about Joe Milton last night during the Late Night Live with the Angry Cowboys Fan, and from the moment Joe Milton was traded to the Dallas Cowboys up to now, you can see the growth in that young man. You can see where he has improved in his game. That doesn't mean that you release the training wheels and you let Joe Milton start a game, but it is a refresher knowing that you have a backup quarterback that is continuing to develop and showing that he's learning from his development. I mean, it's funny to me how people like Shannon Sharp and the guys over at Nightcap put their rubber stamp of approval on Joe Milton being a starting quarterback in the league after 2 good showings in the preseason. I would expect that from people who are thirsty for clicks or attention on the internet, but not from those who have played the damn game at a high level. Those same people who think that Joe Milton can be a starting quarterback in the NFL also thought that C.J. Stroud was the best rookie when he had his rookie appearance, but we see how that turned out, don't we, Cowboys Nation? And the funny thing is, I expect that type of talk from Cowboys fans who are thirsty to move on from Dak Prescott. Shoot, if a kangaroo could throw a football, they would want the kangaroo to take Dak Prescott's spot too. Thank goodness we have some people in the high places that actually know the game of football and aren't just looking for attention from wild takes or anything like that. But it's nice to see Joe Milton growing in that backup role. I honestly feel that Joe Milton has more upside than Sam Howell does. Before training camp, I was leaning toward the Sam Howell situation because of his experience with being a starter in the league. But the more training camp and preseason unfolds, the more I want to see Joe Milton win that position battle. I feel that Joe Milton poses more of a threat than Sam Howell. He poses more of a threat with his legs than Sam Howell. He poses more of a threat with his arm than Sam Howell. His intangibles aren't quite up to where Sam Howell's are, but that's why you have practices in preseason, Cowboys Nation. The reason why you have him developing under Dak Prescott. The more time he spends under Dak, the more I feel those intangibles will develop. And as far as the running back room, Shotty brought up Malik Davis and how he's great in pass protection and picking up the blitzers from the edge or the safety position. This is one of those reasons why I want this young man to make the 53-man active roster instead of a Jadon Blue. Malik Davis kind of reminds me of Tony Pollard. He has the ability to come into the game, change up the pace, and rip off a 15-yard run while Javonte Williams is taking a breather. He can stand side by side with the quarterback, step up in the pocket, and take on anybody who leaks in the backfield and threatens the quarterback. He's nice in the pass game, and whether kicking or receiving, Malik Davis can also play special teams on both sides of the ball. I feel the infatuation with Jadon Blue is his speed alone. People want him to work out because of his 40 speed, but I feel he needs more time to develop into a dominant running back. He needs more time to develop his tool bag when it comes to being an NFL-ready running back. He has nice contact balance, but he lacks field vision. I feel he takes unnecessary steps in trying to get out the backfield, and he doesn't wait for his blocks to develop in order to maximize his lead blockers. We saw this during the first preseason game against the Seattle Seahawks, where he was almost running over his blockers due to the fact that he was impatient on that screen pass. He has to develop that patience in order to get into the open field and to be able to use that 40 speed to his advantage, something that you guys all infatuate over. But when you take a look at the entire running back room, you see that Jadon Blue falls right where Israel Abanikanda falls when it comes to yards per carry against the Arizona Cardinals. Against the Seattle Seahawks, Izzy had one less carry than Jadon Blue, but was able to rip off 5.1 yards per carry opposed to Jadon Blue's 2.4 yards a carry. I feel that Israel Abanikanda's field vision is much better than Jadon Blue's as well. Not only that, but Israel Abanikanda and Malik Davis can lower the boom on linebackers and not think twice about it. According to Shotty, this is the type of running back that we want on this team. Remember we were talking about big backs? Well, you got them right here, Cowboys Nation. We want backs that can tenderize the defense, moving the ball down the field. But to make a long story short, I feel that Jadon Blue could benefit from one more year on the practice squad in order to develop more of a tool bag before the Dallas Cowboys come through and ask him to be the RB2. Some would agree the same thing could be applied to Israel Abanikanda, but I feel that Izzy's more game ready than Jadon Blue is at this point. And the last soundbite that I clipped was about special teams. I'm telling you, Cowboys Nation, if special teams is a glaring issue come week 5, I feel that Brian Schottenheimer needs to consider finding another special teams coach other than Nick Sorensen. There's no reason why our defense should be starting every series close to the 45-yard line. Like Shotty spoke about in the presser, field position is everything on both offense and defense. You don't want your defense to start off at the opponent's 40-yard line after they fielded a clean kickoff. You damn sure don't want to see what we've continuously saw last year, and that's Kevontae Turpin waving his hand for a fair catch in a majority of his return attempts. Turpin is way too speedy, has way too much speed to be getting stopped at the 25-yard line or less because our special teams can't hold their blocks. So something has to give when it comes to Nick Sorensen. Is it the coaching or is it the players? Whatever it is, Cowboys Nation, Shotty and the rest of the coaching staff really need to figure it out, because it would suck for a game to be lost because our special teams unit continues to give up good field position to our opponents. But during the presser, they also spoke about Jayshawn Barham and how he was successful in getting tackles for losses and busting through the opponent's offensive line to get after the quarterback or to get tackles for losses or 1-yard gains. I'm going to keep it a buck, Cowboys Nation. I believe that Jayshawn Barham is going to be a huge impact on this defense if Christian Parker can scheme him well. Allow Barham to be that chess piece as well. Like you're doing with Caleb Downs, allow Jayshawn Barham to be that exact same type of player, that queen piece on the chessboard. He has the ability to rush off the edge. He has the ability to rush down the middle. He can drop back into coverage, and he has speed to chase down anyone coming out of the backfield. As much as the college logo on his helmet scares some of Cowboys Nation, I feel he's going to be able to truly impact this Dallas Cowboys defense if Christian Parker takes the leash off of him and allows him to play aggressively. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. Cowboys Nation, what did you get from the Brian Schottenheimer press conference? What's your take on the backfield and the special teams unit this year? Y'all know how we do. We always talk about it in the comments section. If you're digging this content and you want to help get it out to even more Dallas Cowboys fans, drop a like on this video, share it with anybody that you know is a Dallas Cowboys fan, and if you're on your mobile device and you haven't used them up yet, make sure you hype this video. Doing so could get the word out to Cowboys Nation. They'll come over to the Angry Cowboys Fan YouTube channel and want to become Angry Cowboys fans themselves. And if you are DC for life and you see this Dallas Cowboys team has what it takes to make some noise this upcoming season, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you don't miss anything from the Angry Cowboys Fan YouTube channel. Plus, if you're into Madden 27, College Football 27, or Mortal Kombat talk, whether game or the movies, check out my other YouTube channel, the Angry Gaming Fan YouTube channel. I'll make sure I put the link to that as well as the gamer tag in the description. Now that training camp at Oxnard has come and gone, the Cowboys can return to Frisco to continue to work on their installs and fine-tune the team to have them ready for Week 1 against the New York Football Giants. And Cowboys Nation, that is a must-win coming right out of the gate. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan, and I'm out. Dang, Angry Cowboys fan, you done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys Fan podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.